Hi, I'm Shelley Maurer,
And I'm Cher Emmerich. Welcome to Life Lessons from Pickleball,
where we engage with pickleball players from around the world about life on and off the court.
Thanks for joining us. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy to have with us today Jeannine Ewing. Jeannine, in addition to being a teacher for 32 years at Redmond High School here in the Seattle area, you played competitive national level softball and college basketball, and you were head coach for softball and basketball for 10 years each.
Mm-hmm. Correct. You read your stuff, Cher. That's true.
And after hearing that, now I know why you're such amazing on the pickleball course.
Well, thank you.
You're
A
such
little
an
overstated,
athlete.
but thank you.
No, it's not overstated at all.
Yeah.
Jeannine is also an avid hiker, long distance runner, and a weightlifter. And now you're a pickleball enthusiast.
Yes, I am. I don't run distances anymore, but was at one point a long distance runner, but definitely now a pickleball enthusiast to the max.
To the max.
Actually, we were supposed to have this broadcast at 3:00 today, and I canceled on you because a pickleball match came up, to be honest.
Oh, you have your priorities straight, girl.
I know. So here we are now. It's 7:00 at night, and I'm to blame. There you go.
Well, I hope it was a lot of fun.
We support you.
It was fun. Thanks, Cher. That's good to be supported.
So with all those interests, tell us how you got into pickleball.
Well, ironically, we taught it in physical education at Redmond High School. I wasn't particularly endeared to it because it was a lot of kids at the same time hitting pickleballs all over the gym. And at that point in time, it was a little noisier. And I was always really looking forward to the badminton unit, actually. So that was my introduction to pickleball. But I didn't really get into pickleball until I was with my then partner in Silverthorne down near Breckenridge. And she said, let's go play. I've gotten into this pickleball, and it was all pretty new. That was maybe 3 winters ago. And I went down and I just kind of got bit by the bug. And I didn't really think much about it because I think it was so early kind of at the inception point anyway for a lot of us that it was like, sure, I'll go play. And I just had a blast right from the start. Yeah. And then I came up here after playing down there, and I think it's maybe 2.5 years. I went to Woodinville High School. I called Jane Meadows. I don't know if you know who Jane is.
No.
Great athlete. I knew she would know where people were playing. She goes, go to Woodinville. They play at this time. And that's where I met Madeline and Julie Billett and that crew. And we started to grow our game there. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, yeah. I got bit pretty hard initially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Once you weren't teaching it anymore. So we talked with another teacher who taught it in elementary school, and he never played the game until after he retired. Did you play the game while you were teaching?
No, never.
Isn't that fascinating?
I never played, never participated. It wasn't something we were doing. I actually picked up golf pretty seriously pre-retirement because I thought I'd be doing a lot more of that. And I did. But I often think about all the money I've saved playing pickleball instead of golfing. Seriously.
And the time you saved.
Yeah. Everett Park is a lot cheaper than Bellevue Muni. So there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it was never really in my wheelhouse. And so it's still so interesting to me how, Gina said, let's go play that. And I went. So I'm thankful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you were definitely prepared athletically to be on the court. Because when we think about, Shelley and I were looking over all the things that you've done in your life, we cannot believe it. For one thing, we are very impressed with your tenacity because you have stuck with all these different activities, even with all the surgeries you've had to repair some of the damage from these activities.
Yes.
You say you're a bionic woman.
Totally. I know. I have.
I am kind of interested in hearing it. Well, I'm interested in hearing about everything actually, but I'm interested in hearing about your hiking, all the places you've been and what you've done, and talk a little bit about that.
I haven't I would not consider myself to be an avid outdoors person, and I haven't really been until maybe the last 3 years. Took an interest in it, and I didn't think that it would be something that would move me that way, but really what I found was it was a big challenge. And I also found that oddly enough, and I haven't had it tested, so I mean, I'm going to put it out there, but for some reason or other, I just ended up being a really strong hiker, cardiovascularly, and from a VO2 max point of view. And I kind of think some of that is innate. I do think that
Oh.
VO2 max is not developed sometimes. I think,
Huh.
but I do think sometimes we're born with a blessed VO2 max. And I do think that perhaps I had one or have one.
What's VO2?
Well, it is your ability to take in oxygen and how we use it, and to uh, not, in layman's terms, not be incredibly winded when you get into altitudes and situations that require a lot of. It's how your body efficiently uses your oxygen, your intake, etc. So, not a scientific explanation there, but yes,
No, but
So,
yeah.
that's fascinating. And
we're-
I
Nepal, Scotland, Iceland, come on. All
Well,
these countries?
yes, all of those I have done those, and much of that has been since retirement and a few pre. But I think probably Scotland was as beautiful as anywhere I've ever been.
Mm.
But probably the most challenging hike for sure was the Nepal hike that we took. It's been 2 Octobers ago now, where we were, at 18,000 feet, and it
Wow.
was probably, I think it was 21 days, 22 days, and it was pretty epic. Nepal is not flat, and we were basically in the Himalayas every day, hiking anywhere from 8 to, I don't know, maybe somewhere in the 8 to 12, 13-mile range of hills. And it was, yeah, and there was no running water. There was running water usually, but it would freeze at night. And there was no heat. There was very limited. We ate well, but there was no protein, and definitely no alcohol at those altitudes. So we were well taken care of by our guides, but it was really something else. We went over 2 major passes, and yeah, and it was kind of hard to believe, really, at night when you were sleeping at 16,000 on your second night, and you knew your blood was pretty thin, and your brain could be a little thin too. I noticed.
was
Yes.
it
Ah.
was
So
it the Annapurna trek or another
we
one?
did the Manaslu Trail, and which is quite. I'm not going to call it primitive because I don't really know what it looked like before, but you have to have a guide. And then we started and did that, and then we finished and did half the Annapurna and did some at the. God, I can't remember if that was through Long or Lalarkey. I can't remember which pass was which on which place, and so that's what we did. Yeah, it was something. We were at 2 base camps basically, and slept in container boxes, and we had superior jackets and sleeping bags. So that was pretty epic. And then,
Wait,
yeah,
just a second.
uh
You slept
huh.
in what?
Well, at one of the base camps, it was the last one we were at off the Annapurna. Basically, sleeping arrangements. I will not go into any detail about the restroom arrangements. No one wants to hear it. But the sleeping arrangements were, I'll send you a picture. We were basically sleeping on rocks with a sleeping bag down, and it was container boxes we
Oh
were
my
in.
gosh.
What time of year was this?
It was October there, so
Ooh.
we missed most of the monsoon season, but we were definitely in some tricky positions. Let's put it this way: my family was not happy I was there. So, but I did not know exactly what we were getting into. It was fabulous. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Because it had a
yes.
happy ending.
Oh, it was, yeah, it was really, really exhausting, and I say rather stupid at times. Yeah. There you have it. Yes, that's right.
But that's where
So,
your VO2 became really
well, I
came in
think
handy,
I
right?
noticed it with my ex when we were in Breck, and I'd be there a lot. And Breckenridge sits at 95, I think,
Hmm.
and I seem to not have a problem upon arrival and then hiking there. And I didn't really notice it there, but of course she noticed it there because she comes and goes, and hers is pretty good too. But when you bring people usually to those places, so Yeah, hiking has been it's been a great addition to my life. It really has been. And I also have Gina to thank for that. But my daughter and I are leaving this month, and we're headed to Bend, Oregon, and we're going to do some hiking. Yeah, it's
Nice.
just
Yeah.
hard to find fools to do this with you.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
really is. It's hard to find people, unlike pickleball, that want to go do. And I'm finding that challenging, particularly for my age. And my partner is younger, but I think that with respect to that, it gives you a purpose
Mm.
and it makes you get out and train. And the training that we did that summer leading into Nepal, I never really even thought about Nepal. It was just getting through a lot of those hikes, but it was incredible. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
There you have it.
Well, we're totally impressed. And Shelley wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, oh, the weightlifting. Yeah.
Well,
You had Jeannine sent some videos of her weightlifting heavy
oh, okay.
weights. Like I've been a weightlifter. I've done a lot of weightlifting, but I've never done heavy weights like I saw. And I'm
Yeah.
just really intrigued to hear what you have to say about why it's good for us.
Well,
Yeah.
I I'm not trained in that area, and so everybody should understand that. But I kind of think that I'm working with a trainer. His name is Ryan Bond, and he's a young guy. He's an expert in diet and exercise, and he's actually a teacher in the Lake Washington School District. And I went to, I've always weight trained, but I decided just to turn it up a notch. And with his guidance, I've been able to do that. And yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm doing things that I never thought I was going to be able to do for sure. And it's from a lifting point of view. And I really think some of the things in the video that look like they may not be good for you, like the deadlifting and the bent rows and having weight on your back. But if you'll notice when I have the weight on my back, he has me just touching rear end on a bench. I'm not going all the way down, and he's there to guide. I have to tell you, I've only been doing this training with him for, I think it's been 8 months now, and my legs have never felt better. My back has never hurts after pickleball anymore, and
Wow.
it's made a big difference. Yeah. And we're also doing, and there was a Facebook post that I did for friends. It's kind of just I don't know if there's a better term for it, and I'm probably stealing this from somebody, but aging in place expression, where we stop doing things like jumping. We stop
Mm.
jumping on one leg. He has me doing jumping types of activities, coming down off a bench with one leg, just doing things that you might have to do off a bus or
Yeah.
if somebody
Hmm.
shoves you from behind, etc. So yeah, he has made it. It's been a life changer, and it's super exhilarating and fun. And it's just him and I, and we're in his garage. There's nothing sexy about where we are, but we just get after it in there. And so I train with him an hour a week, and then I train on my own. Yes. So
So
it's been amazing. I really would recommend some sort of weight training for sure for all of us gals as we get older. I know we've been told
especially,
that.
yeah, but especially when we're moving on the pickleball court, right?
Oh, I
To
think,
help for injury
yeah.
prevention. Yeah.
Yeah, his dietary changes that really helped me too were, I was a health teacher, and we know what we're supposed to do sometimes. That doesn't mean we're going to do it, but I think
Right.
he really increased my protein levels, and that was helpful for me and how to do that. So, smarter eating
Talk to
and
me about that, the protein
heavier
levels.
lifting. Yeah, the nutrition program that he put in place for me was really simple, and what he really did was he had me almost well, I probably went from eating about 50 to 60 grams of protein a day, and I've always liked protein. And he started me at maybe at about 110, 120 were preferred. Now I struggled with that. I really could not do it. So, but I improved on it, and it made a big difference because A, I was never hungry, and B, it's better for building muscle that way. It is a lot better for building muscle and retaining muscle as we get older. So we lose so much muscle every year.
So, like, tell me a day's worth of protein intake, just so I can
Well,
get a grasp on
that's a
this.
good question. And he basically had a program for me. And so here's what I know for sure. 3 eggs is roughly 18 grams of protein. He would, a can of tuna is roughly, I don't know, 200 maybe cans of 200, with respect, not grams of protein, 22 grams of protein, I think. There's those Fairlife drinks. I'm not big on the protein drinks, but the chocolate ones are really good, and I think they're 20. So a lot of yogurt, a lot of the cereal they sell at Costco there that is protein based. So just things like that, and eating it. And he really got me eating more throughout the day. So that was very helpful. Yeah. Well, maybe we can put his name and number on there too. We can promote his business that is growing, and yeah, I continue to follow that diet. It's been helpful. Yeah.
Well,
That's
I've read that we're supposed to do increased protein as we age,
Yes.
but I haven't. Yeah.
I have too, and I hadn't done it, and it was easier said than done, but I noticed pretty instantaneous changes in my body that were helpful and definitely helped me with my workouts and my routines, including pickleball. So, yeah.
So is the increased protein because you are exercising, or even if you weren't, you would increase the protein?
That's a really good question. And I believe that regardless of our fitness levels or regardless of what we're doing for a workout, we should probably all as women be increasing our protein levels. Yes,
Interesting.
to maintain muscle mass. It is super
Interesting.
super important. So yeah, and even if small changes are made, even if you go from 60 to 85 grams, that's better than that's probably where I was. But I've always really loved protein. So, but it was still a challenge for me. I mean, he'd have me eating and I'd have this yogurt in front of me and I go, I cannot eat this. So I'd put it in the fridge and then I'd go back and try to get after it later. But after a while, it got easier. I know that sounds awful, but it's not. I never got into the protein. I did do the Fairlife protein chocolate drinks, but I never got into the protein powder. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That stuff you put in something, not my thing. So yeah. So weightlifting has been also a big addition and something I've always done throughout my life. But my body has taken it's taken its lumps. I mean, I'm 65, and so I had a knee replaced because I blew a knee out in college when I was 55, I think.
Wow.
So I had that replaced. And then they said you can't run anymore. So I had to find other things to do. And then when I was right before I retired, I was in a hot yoga class and I looked at my arms in the mirror and I thought, well, that arm doesn't look like it wants to go that way. So I went in and they go, we have severe arthritis. So then I had my shoulder replaced before I retired.
Ouch.
So that one was on the Lake Washington School District. And then I want to say this because I think this is really important since we're talking about pickleball. Last, not this April, but the April before last, April 4th, I was at Evers Park playing pickleball and I fell down and broke my wrist.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I broke it good.
Oh.
And I knew it before it's kind of gross, but I knew it before I even got up. I slipped. I didn't even go all the way down on my knee, but my racket and my arm absorbed the force of it. So I was playing with a friend of mine, two people I didn't know. And I just stood up and it was instantaneous. And I looked at it, not to be gross, but I knew. So I said, I have to go now. And I gathered my things. And I walked home and I've been through some of these surgeries. So I sat on the couch for a minute. I said, you have to have a plan because in this day and age, with respect to having a surgery or getting it, and I had a trip planned to Croatia and Slovenia, and I was supposed to leave in 3 weeks. And I said to myself, I'm going. So we got to figure this out. So I had surgery within 4 days.
Whoa.
And Dr. Beck here at ProLiance, I might as well give him a shout out. They got me in really fast and I could not believe it. He said it'll be a year before it's normal, but I think within 6 months it was pretty good. Yeah.
Wow. Was it your pickleball? It was the
It was
hand
my
you held the.
pickleball wrist, Shelley.
Oh my gosh.
Riding wrist. And it was a very important hand and it did not behave for a while. I'd go to pick up like a teacup or a coffee cup or grab something. And yeah, so it's really fortunate though. I mean, I feel like I'm the luckiest person on the earth to be able to go in and have a body that can respond like it is to things I still love to do after all those things happening. And,
Yeah.
none of these things that I've gone through have been life-threatening. None of them have been totally unpredicted or scary or irregular cell-like. So I'm not trying to make it sound that way, but I think modern medicine is pretty incredible.
It is. And the fact that you've stayed so fit and strong and
Yeah.
healthy, that helps your recovery really fast too. Good on you.
Yeah, it does. And so off I went to on this trip with this brace on, and the doctor said, "You can't pull a suitcase, you can't do it." He told me all the things I couldn't do. And I think the 5th day I was there, we were on some plank and we were out somewhere at one of the national parks, and I fell through a big pothole.
Oh
And I
no.
went down like 4 or 5 feet. And this guy, this huge man that was behind me, basically grabbed me and pulled me up and out of the out of the doldrums.
Oh
Yeah, it
my
scared me.
gosh.
Anyway,
Oh,
traveling with a broken wrist. So there you have it.
there you have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it was good. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I would like to hear more about all your years of working with kids and teaching.
Oh, yes.
I just,
Yeah. I Thanks for asking, because I think that it's a funny thing about education. You can say to people, yeah, I was a teacher and everything. A lot of people say thank you, you know. And it is a service oriented job in many ways.
Oh
And I got
yeah.
started when I was maybe 25 or 26. And they actually hired me because I coached softball there for a year and was successful. But I think working with high school kids for me was the perfect job for me. I have to tell you, for whatever reason, they were just my people. I tried junior high. I student taught at the junior high level, and I just went, nope. They are not. I have friends that are doing junior high teaching, and they are amazing. But I used to there was zero adult conversation all day long, and I couldn't do it. At least with high school kids, you were having conversation with young adults. But
yeah.
I taught my last 11 years. Well, I taught a lot of different things there. And I was AD, but I think my last 11 years were my favorite years in education because I taught 11th and 12th grade health. So I had
Oh,
the big
nice.
kids.
Mhm.
Nice.
And basically the entire program was designed around what's your life going to look like when you leave your family home.
Oh,
So life after high school. I mean, some of them were leaving next year. So what is this going to look like for you? It was a very comprehensive health education. I'm very proud of it. Yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
was,
nice.
yeah, it was pretty out there. Let's put it this way. If you can hold a 12th grader's attention in for 6 months talking about how life's going to be after you get out of here, then it was pretty interesting. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah, it was fun.
remarkable.
Kids were receptive, and kids are fun. I mean, they're incredible. And you'll notice my daughter was helping me with some cute computer stuff tonight. I mean, I started teaching when there was no computers on our desk.
oh
We were
my
still writing down attendance. I'm dating myself. That's okay. I've already mentioned my age. We were still writing down attendance and putting it on the outside of the door, you know. I
Yeah.
know, it's amazing. And so my daughter's a
Amazing.
teacher now, and she goes, "Mom, you used to have to compute grades." And I go, "Yeah, we had to individually put every grade in the grade book. 2%. It was incredible. Yeah. So it was fulfilling. It was fun. There was a lot of laughter. Kids are intelligent and bright. They helped me with computer stuff. I mean, really, for the most part, it was a fulfilling career. I loved it. I did. And I will never, I don't miss teaching. I did it for long enough, but I miss that age group because so I have my daughter's 30 now, and I have my nieces and nephews in their 30s and 40s, and a lot of them have children, smaller children, but there's going to be no window in my world until those grandkids grow up. And I don't really know, but there's not a window in your world very often where you have the presence of 15 through 18-year-olds around you all day.
Yeah.
And they're kind of early adopters to everything. I
yeah.
mean, to style, to nutrition, to what's at a movie theater, to music. I mean, they are left no stone, they don't leave any stone unturned. And I learned a lot from them on a daily basis. Yeah. Yes.
No, that's
And
fun.
a compliment was, "You're not boring, Miss Ewing." And I'm, thanks. That's
Oh,
nice.
that's
That's a
That's
huge.
the
really
ultimate
huge
that's the ultimate
compliment.
compliment. I know. Yes,
Well,
we had a lot of fun. I do miss that age group. Uh-huh.
I
So
want I want you to tell the story about the baseball cards.
Which, that story.
I love that story.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mention his name. His name is Mark Deming. And I found these cards the other day. Again, I was reminded he was probably my first or second year teaching. And at graduation, he was just the nicest kid. He came up and he goes, I know you don't have any children yet, but when you have children, I want you to hang on to this and appreciate it as time goes on. And he gave me a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card and a couple other cards. But the note that he enclosed in it was, as a young teacher, it was super impactful for me. Yes. Isn't that dear? So now I'm
Yes.
looking for him, and I can't find him on Facebook. I don't know that age group will be listening to this pickleball podcast,
Cast.
but if you know where Mark Deming is, I wonder if he has children, because wouldn't it be fun to give them back to him?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I
And
know.
just,
So
and
how do
I
you
just,
spell his last name? We'll try to get the
think
word
it's
out.
Demming. I mean, seriously, I was 27 when I had him. 28 when I had him. He was just a baby, and so was I. Now looking back, yeah, it's been a long time. I know. Kids are really. I think that regardless of what you hear about teenagers, I think our world is in a really good place.
I
Yes,
think so
yeah.
too. That generation's going to save us.
I
Yeah.
think so too. And yeah, and they were intellectually amazing and just fun. And there was big changes at Redmond High School in the time I was there. When I started teaching there, we were a pretty high percentage, with respect to free and reduced, and we were, primarily all white school for the most part, with very
Hmm.
little ethnic diversity, and things really changed by the time I left Redmond High School. And that was really, I think, exciting and fun to watch that too. The changes
Good.
in our community,
Mm-hmm.
and the changes in the teaching staff and the teachers and the kids, and the direction with kids were being, edged to go. And, yeah, pretty fascinating. Yeah.
So you have this incredible athletic sports, hiking, weightlifting, all and pickleball in
Mm-hmm.
that side of your world, and then
Yeah.
this teaching and
Mm-hmm.
learning from the students on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
So, what would you say were some of the life lessons that either you've learned on the pickleball court that you take into your life, or some
Mm-hmm.
of the life lessons that you learned off the court that you're taking into pickleball?
Well, I think one of the life lessons I've learned off the court that I took into pickleball was, yeah, I'm going to go play. This looks fun. Let's make it fun and let's go have fun. And I think that's really important. I never even gave it a second thought. I also think that I'm seeing some of my friends, like met Shelly Baker the other day, who's just getting started playing. You played with her at Julie's house.
Yes.
Yes,
And
and
yes.
and I think one of the things I was talking to Shelly about, who was also a teacher, and she said, it's at 60 years old, and all of a sudden I'm regaining this childlike innocence that's bringing me back to when I was a kid out playing.
Oh,
And that's a beautiful thing too. I was at Everest Park with my then partner maybe 2 years ago, and we were up at Everest and we were playing, and the sun was going down and nobody was leaving. It was just like you used to stay outside until somebody said, you gotta come in now. And we were going, we should probably go. We can't see the ball anymore. Yeah. I mean, the I think the in short, I believe that, and I hope pickleball doesn't go too far this other direction. I believe as a country, and as particularly for kids, because everything's so organized for kids now athletically,
yep.
that they don't have
Mm-hmm.
to do anything. They don't have to call a neighbor. They don't have to put together a flag football game. They really don't have to do anything. I think that this pickleball, at least the beginning of pickleball, has brought back a lot of play, and I think play minded fun for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to have the ability to grab a paddle, walk somewhere, put it down, and play a game. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of incredible,
Yeah.
actually. And I'm not surprised that it's taken off. I do think it's already changed quite a bit in the first 3 years, and I don't think that's bad. But with any any activity or anything that takes off as quickly as this, pickleball's already gotten pretty big. You know, all the people that just wanted to play. You know, sometimes I'm concerned that that I'm hoping all the beginners are welcomed on courts.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first one to admit there's times when I just want to play with my people and I don't want to play with other people, particularly if you have a set amount of time. But, now that my friends are beginners and learning, if I don't participate with them, can I swear? If I
Yes.
don't go play with my friends that are learning to play this game and joining this world, I mean, I'm an asshole. So
Right,
we go play, and it's
right.
been really fun. Yeah. Yes. And I
Oh,
saw you playing in a tournament the other day, young lady.
Yes,
Shelley
I
got
Yeah,
know.
that was
silver.
so fun to see
She
you
got
there.
Yeah,
silver,
She
Jeannine.
yeah,
got silver.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. And so, how many games did you win? Oh, I probably shouldn't be interviewing you. Okay. That's awesome. I'm so glad to see you there.
9
Tell me about
games.
how was that? Was that your first tournament?
No, my ninth. I love to play tournaments. So
Don't
fun.
you? Do you? Why do you love it so much?
I think because I didn't play competitive softball or basketball
Yeah.
like you did, I didn't when I was younger. And so
Yeah.
now I'm doing my competitive play.
See, I think that's
And it's
really
so
important.
fun.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought that up because I think that's another thing too. A lot of people never had that outlet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And I
right.
know you're a player.
I'm a
Yep.
player.
Cher's a player.
Yeah, Shelley's been helping me.
Yeah.
Has she?
I'm a
Yes.
solid 2.5.
No,
You
not
know
true.
what? That's
Uh,
good.
no, I'm
I
having a
mean,
blast. Having a blast.
are you
And
good? Now,
Yeah.
have you played in some tournaments too?
no.
Okay.
Tournaments typically start at 3.0. And
Okay, you're
so,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to playing in tournaments. And
Thank
I think
you.
it's great we're all playing.
Your tournament,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not a big tournament person actually, and I was talking I think it's been a combination of things for me. And because I like to do a lot of things, and I think tournament prep is fun and purposeful, and it gives us meaning. And I think playing like that, I don't know why I really haven't been entered into that. I feel like, I coached really competitively and I played really competitively, and maybe I'm just kind of over that part of my life.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or maybe it's because nobody asked me to play in tournaments. Maybe it's that.
Well, we'll test that out.
I think I think now that you've mentioned it. Yeah. So, but I think that all these little tournaments are really great for people.
They're fun.
Yeah.
I know, like
Really
at
fun.
Woodinville the other day, wasn't that exciting?
Yeah. So exciting.
I
Yeah.
know. And I was
It's
there
really
to
fun.
watch. Well, I watched you and I watched a couple other friends play that were participating. And then I was there with Shelley Stockman, who's a very good player, who her wife was there playing with Shelley Baker. And those two had really, well, I think Melissa had played before, but I think Shelley just took it up. I mean, literally, but they're both good athletes. And then
Yeah.
I don't know, but they just like all of a sudden started getting in these tournaments. And I said, well, what other tournaments are you playing in? And they go, well, we're going to play in Seattle Metro. And I go, wow, good on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
They're going for it. So it's pretty
Yeah.
Fantastic.
exciting.
It
Yeah.
is exciting.
Yeah. And
Really fun.
congratulations on silver.
Thank you.
Was that your first medal?
No,
Oh,
second,
it
third.
was.
I have 1 gold and 2 silvers.
Where'd you get your gold?
It was one of the first tournaments we did at Gorin.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Just
I know.
crazy that she is so good and so
Yes.
athletic and didn't
Yeah.
have that in, and we're finding other people who
Yeah.
were either too hesitant to get involved in sports or just
Yeah.
whatever, and now they are just having this second wind, and it's
Yeah.
just
It's
so
really
fun to
fun.
watch Shelley too. She's
Yeah.
so good.
Isn't that
Oh,
exciting?
I
Yeah.
wish we could just keep talking forever.
No,
You guys.
We
we're
gotta
done
go.
though, huh?
We are
Yeah.
so close to the half-hour mark, but
Okay, good.
now we just first want to say thank you. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this was incredible that you took the time. You are so busy, and we are really appreciative. And thank you to Jessie, your daughter, for helping us get set
Yeah.
up tonight. And
Yes.
Shelley, did you have any final thoughts, or
I think we covered everything
we
that I
covered it?
had. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Jeannine, you're a delight, and you're an inspiration. with
Thank you.
all that you've done in your life. And we just have such a heart for teachers. Shelley's a teacher, and
Yeah.
my son's a teacher, and have such a heart. And thank you for all the years that you have
Yeah,
given to the children of this world. And like you said, they are going to help this planet heal.
I would agree. I would agree with you.
And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
we believe
Yeah.
pickleball will do the same.
I do
Yeah.
too. Well, this was a wonderful inspiration for a podcast. I've never been on one. It was fun. Thank
It
you,
was
Cher, and thank you,
good.
Shelley.
Good.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
will see you now. The other day, I didn't know who Cher was, and so we were running through the court, and I was with Shelley Baker, and she goes, "I said, I think Cher's here somewhere, but I don't know who she is." And Shelley goes, "Cher," and started yelling your name. Did you hear her? Randomly, and I went, "Oh, there she is.
There she is.
There, we found her." Well, thanks for having me, you guys. It was
Oh,
fun.
Yeah.
thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank
Okay.
you. And we
All
want to
right.
thank everyone who's been listening and watching. We know that you're as inspired as we are. And thank you so much for watching. And we look forward to our conversation next week. Bye bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
If you love our podcast, we'd be so grateful if you'd take a few seconds to follow or subscribe to Life Lessons from Pickleball. This ensures you'll never miss an episode and helps us continue these wonderful conversations.
On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, go to the show page and tap the follow button in the top right corner. And on YouTube, click the subscribe button under any of the episodes.
Thanks so much. Hope to see you on the court.